a lot of us go through these seasons where we find it difficult, like we're not being seen, or we're not accomplishing certain things that we set out to accomplish. And I think a lot of it has to do because we are being built in the background, or we're being built in the hidden areas of our lives. When we go through our hardest season, or what we feel is our hardest season, when we are destroyed, and a lot of the times it's because like it's our breaking point, and the point to where when we break and we get on that other side, and something starts to grow out of us. And it's all about positioning, preparation, and promotion. And I mentioned how the longest phase, or the longest process within those 3 steps usually is the preparational phase. And that preparational phase is sometimes our hidden season, right? That's when we're going back to the illustration with the seed, like we're deep in the soil in a dark place. No one sees us, no one knows what's happening, but we are being pruned, we are being stretched, we are being refined into the fruitful and productive tree that we are supposed to be growing into. We all go through the seasons where we feel hidden. We all go through seasons where we feel like we're in the background. Don't compare yourself to someone who is in their productive season or in their fruitful season, because life is a cycle, right? We go through these different phases in our lives. We go through these different processes, and it's for a reason, right? It's for a greater purpose. All right, what's up? Welcome to the new episode of the Myles podcast. This is Myles Jr. As always, the vision of this podcast is to entertain, educate, and elevate you miles high above your fears, your doubts, and any limitations that you may think exist. Always knowing that those limitations only exist in your mind. All right. Just wanted to shout out our brand store, legacybrandshop.com. If you're interested in picking up some of the merch, it's available there. Everything that you've been seeing me wearing for this season so far, and for the past seasons as well. We have t-shirts and sweatshirts right now. Cop your legacy brand merch. I'm excited about it. I love what the brand is doing right now. I'm looking forward to introducing some new pieces in the near future. But for now, you could log on to the website and see what we have available and indulge. All right. So I want to talk about built in the background. I was just thinking about this year, just coming out of our first quarter, going into our second quarter now, and it's been a challenging year for the most part, personally. And just from a growth standpoint, right? Like I can tell that a lot of things that I'm going through, or that I'm experiencing, is meant to assist me with my growth in different areas of my life. And I wanted to highlight that, right? Because I think a lot of us go through these seasons where we find it difficult, or we find it like we're not being seen, or we're not accomplishing certain things that we set out to accomplish. And I think a lot of it has to do with because we are being built in the background, or we're being built in the hidden areas of our lives. I think it's important for us to recognize and acknowledge these seasons, because I think these seasons are when we develop the most, and it's the biggest jump that we experience from a developmental standpoint. So I think it's very important for us to know, like when we're segueing from, one area of our lives to another, on a higher level, and the development that it takes for that to happen. And everyone wants to be on the stage, but not everyone wants to do the work in the shadows, right? And I think, that just speaks to all of us, right? All of us want to achieve levels of success where we're recognized and praised for those successes. And a lot of the times we don't really want to take the time that is needed to work on ourselves in the shadows, right? And I think this is when we are in our hidden season. And the hidden season is just basically when we are working or growing and we're in our preparational phase and no one is seeing it, right? I like to liken this to a seed, right? So when you take a seed and you plant the seed, right, in the soil, no one sees the seed. No one sees what's happening, what's going on through the process of that seed growing and developing into the plant or the tree or whatever it is it's supposed to develop into. It's deep in the soil. It's in this dark place, but it's being developed, right? It's getting the nutrients that it needs, the sunlight that it needs, the water that it needs, everything that seed needs to grow is happening during that hidden season, right? There's no sprout that has happened. Like you can't see anything, any relevance of a tree, but the person that's planted or the seed itself knows that something is happening. And I think once we go through that process and the seed actually breaks, right, and no one sees the break. I want to point that out as well. So like when we go through our hardest season, or what we feel is our hardest season, when we are destroyed, right, or what we would determine as destroyed, or we go through this phase where, man, we don't know why this hurts so much. Like, why is this so painful? Why am I even going through this experience? And a lot of the times it's because like it's our breaking point, and the point to where when we break and we get on that other side and something starts to grow out of us, and then we start to produce fruit and be a lot more productive in this new season that we're in. But again, no one sees that process. No one is able to witness what happens during the hidden season, because the hidden season is for us. During our hidden season, we develop what we need or what we require for our public platforms. So we develop our character, and we have character over our charisma. We develop consistency, right? And it's about consistency over clout. And then we develop a level of obedience where we're being obedient regardless of the opportunities that presents themselves. And all of this happens, all of this development, this nurturing, this growth is what we should acknowledge and prepare for during this season of our lives when we are hidden, because we are being literally built in the background. Our internal work, or the work that we experience internally, is pruning us, it's stretching us, and it's refining us, right? It's creating new levels of self, new levels of the individual that we are, who we are supposed to grow into, who we are supposed to be for ourselves, and who we are supposed to be for others in various seasons of our lives. I want to introduce you to the Monroe Global app, the ultimate platform to empower your leadership journey and inspire your purpose-filled life. Access timeless teachings designed to help you grow in every area of your life. From leadership development to personal growth, Monroe Global has it all at your fingertips. With the Monroe Global app, you'll have exclusive access to powerful videos and messages from the legendary Dr. Myles Monroe, a digital library packed with life-changing content right at your fingertips, and a vibrant global community of visionaries, leaders, and change makers just like you. Whether you're at home, on the go, or in the office, the Monroe Global app ensures you never miss an opportunity to learn, grow, and lead. Available now on Google Play and the Apple App Store, the Monroe Global app is your gateway to unlocking your potential and impacting your world. Download the Monroe Global app today and take the first steps toward living the life you were born to lead. So if we cheat ourselves during this hidden season, we're not only cheating us, we're cheating the people around us that we are supposed to affect, who we're supposed to lead, who we're supposed to nurture, who we're supposed to assist with their development, right? But none of that happens if we don't go through our development phases, our hidden seasons. If I had to draw some examples, everyone goes through a season where they're not seeing. They feel like they aren't seeing. If we take it to the life book, Joseph went through a period where, he was given a vision and a word for his life, and quite a number of years passed before that word came to fruition, because he was in his hidden season. He was being prepared. Went through hell, right? Went through a lot of stuff that, the average person probably would have given up and been like, man, this doesn't make any sense. God lied to me. I don't see how I'm going to be ruler of the nation or my family, because I'm going through this moment, right? And it's just a moment, right? It's not a long period of time, even though it may feel like a long period of time. In the grand scheme of things, our hidden seasons are usually finite, right? But it's important, and it feels like the world is on our shoulders, but in fact, it's just us being pruned and stretched and refined to the individuals that we need to be. David is another example. David was blessed by the prophet when he was a young boy, and again, a number of years passed before David even became king. He was blessed and then went right back out into the field to tend to his father's livestock. And then Jesus was hidden, right? We don't really hear much about Jesus's life up until between the ages of 13 and 30, right? His ministry started. We know that his ministry started, or the purpose that he came to earth for started when he was 30 and lasted 3 years. But between 0 and 30, or 13 and 30, like, he was hidden. Like, he was being prepared, he was being nurtured, he was being developed. And in the same way, like, that's what we go through in our hidden season. And I think it's important for us to recognize when we're in our building seasons or in our hidden seasons. When are we in the moments of our lives where we are being built in the background, right? So if you see yourself going through these periods or eras in your life where progress is slow, but you recognize that you're developing, right? You're becoming a much more stronger person, right? The developmental aspect of your life is stronger. Or when you see doors not opening, right? The doors that you think should be open, or that they could be open at this moment in your life, but they aren't opening, but you're forming good habits in the process, right? You're understanding and recognizing what to do, what not to do in these different situations. Understand that God really deals with our hearts, right? He doesn't highlight our highs, right? He wants to deal with us from an internal standpoint, and that's what happens during these hidden seasons, the times where we're in the background. And it's a process. I had this talk at one of my MEL events where I spoke about the 3 P's to success, right? And it's all about positioning, preparation, and promotion. And I mentioned how the longest phase, or the longest process within those 3 steps, usually is the preparational phase. And that preparational phase is sometimes our hidden season, right? That's when we're going back to the illustration with the seed, like, we're deep in the soil, in a dark place. No one sees us, no one knows what's happening, but we are being pruned, we are being stretched, we are being refined into the fruitful and productive tree that we are supposed to be growing into. Do you feel like there's more to life than what you're experiencing? That deep down, you're meant for something greater? It's time to stop wondering and start discovering. At the Monroe Institute of Leadership, we believe every person carries a unique purpose, a calling designed specifically for you. Our transformative courses, Discover Purpose and Unlock Your Potential, are crafted to help you uncover that purpose and equip you with the tools to step confidently into your destiny. These powerful courses are for leaders, entrepreneurs, students, and visionaries like you. Through proven principles and actionable insights, you will clarify your vision and set bold goals. You will identify your strengths and passions. You will overcome the barriers holding you back, and you will step boldly into your God-given potential. Our expert facilitators draw from timeless and tested principles, blending practical strategies with kingdom truths to empower you to lead a life of purpose, impact, and transformation. The world needs what you have to offer. Don't let another day pass without unlocking the greatness within you. Visit our website, themill.org, and register today. The Monroe Institute of Leadership. Renew your mind and transform a generation. You know, in Psalms 91, it says that he that dwelleth in the secret place of the Most High shall abide in the shadows of the Almighty. And, you know, I remember when I first really understood what that verse was saying, you know, dwelling in the shadows, you're not out front, you're not in the limelight. You're literally in a dark place. Literally, you're so close to God, right? You're so close to the Creator that you feel like you're alone. You feel like you're in this dark place, but all along you're just in the comfort of the Creator. And that's how I tend to look at a lot of my hidden seasons where things aren't going the way that I want them to go, doors aren't opening the way I want them to open, success isn't being achieved the way I want it to be achieved, right? And I realized, okay, I'm supposed to learn something in this season. And a lot of the times it's a difficult process, right? It's hard because you're met with challenge after challenge after challenge. And I feel like these challenges are pruning us, are stretching us, and are refining us to the next level of our lives, right? And again, going back to the 3 Ps, to that promotion, right? That a promotion step to where now we're entering a newfound level of success, a newfound level of productivity. But it all happens, or it can't happen, if we don't go through this hidden phase, this being built in the background season of our lives. And it's just important for us to acknowledge and try to be aware of when it happens. It happens so much that, you know, you're almost able to pinpoint and recognize when it's happening. It's like a tree, right? A tree that produces fruit. That tree doesn't produce fruit year round. There are seasons where that tree is fruitless. But the tree being fruitless doesn't mean that the tree isn't still a tree, and it's not doing what it's supposed to do. It's just going through the season of refining, stretching, and growing and developing, so that when the season comes, when it produces fruit again, that fruit is just as good or better than it was in the previous season. And that's how we should look at ourselves. That's how we should look at our productivity. Don't be afraid of the background, right? Don't be afraid of not being recognized or not being seen. Don't be afraid of being in a dark place, right? Being so close to God that we feel like we're all alone, but when in fact He's entirely engulfing our being. He's entirely around us. Because those are the moments, that's the season where we experience tremendous growth, exponential growth, right? And on the other side of that, right, when we finally get to the fruit of the seed that was planted, you know, people will only see the fruit that's produced, right? They wouldn't see the process. And that's why a lot of people, you know, they talk about overnight success, and came out of nowhere and it just became successful. And sometimes they try to discredit someone because of this, but they don't see the process. They don't see the background that this person has, and the hidden season that they went through, right? The being buried in that soil that was pruning them and stretching them and refining them for this exact moment. You know, because you don't rise to the level of your ambition, you fall to the level of your preparation. I'll say it again. You don't rise to the level of your ambition, you fall to the level of your preparation. So if through your hidden season, right, when you're being the season in your life when you're being built, if you're not adhering to that developmental phase and preparing yourself for the success that you say you want, or the success that, you know, the Creator is showing that He wants to give you, once you get that success, you're not going to be prepared for it, right? And you're going to think that you're better than everyone else, or you did this by yourself, or, you know, you're going to have this sense of accomplishments of me personally. I did this, to where now all of these accolades and recognition that you're getting is going to cause you to fall because you're not prepared. And I think it's just important for us to understand the different seasons that we go through in our lives. And I want to take this time out to talk and reiterate the fact that we all go through the seasons where we feel hidden. We all go through seasons where we feel like we're in the background. Don't compare yourself to someone who is in their productive season or in their fruitful season, because life is a cycle, right? We go through these different phases in our lives. We go through these different processes. And it's for a reason, right? It's for a greater purpose. And it's for us to better ourselves so that we can then help to better others. So if you're in your hidden season, just understand that it's not punishment. It's just preparation. You're being prepared for the success. You're being prepared for the fruit that you should be producing in the next season of your life. So I'm encouraging you to keep going. Don't be afraid of those dark places. Don't be afraid of being overlooked. Don't be upset about it. Don't get discouraged by it. Just understand that, man, I'm in the season of being refined. I'm in the season of being prepared. I'm in a season of developing and growing and stretching me beyond what I even could fathom I can stretch to, right? And it's all to build you and to prepare you for what God is wanting to give you in the next season of your life. So that's my encouragement. Continue to be built in the background. Continue to accept and live in those unseen areas where we feel like we're alone, but know that you're not. Know that you have everyone that is supposed to be there to help you and assist you and encourage you within that development. They're there, and with all due respect, regardless of who is there or who isn't there, God is there. God is with us. He's around us, and he's assisting us and developing us into the vessel that he needs us to be. All right. So with that brings us to the milestone for this podcast. And milestone today is very simple. It's God often hides you to prepare you so you're not destroyed by what he gives you. So when you're hidden and you feel like you're unseen, but you know that God is working on you, and you see all these challenges coming at you, don't look at the challenges as punishment. Look at them as, man, I'm being prepared for something. God is trying to work something in me so that I can be able to deal with not just the blessings, but some of the challenges that are about to come in this next season of my life as well. So just be conscious of where you're at in your season of life. You might be in your productive and fruitful season today. Tomorrow it may be your hidden season, right, where you're developing and growing. Just be aware of which season you're in and where you're at, so that you're taking the time to prepare and develop the way that you should, so that when you get that promotion, when you get into that next level of your life, you won't fumble the bag. All right. So with that brings us to the end of this episode. My encouragement to you, as always, is just to live a fruitful, productive, and purpose-filled life the best you can, ensuring that you're always learning, always developing, always trying to be better than you were yesterday. As always, the vision of this podcast is to entertain, educate, and elevate you miles high above your fears, your doubts, and any limitations that you may think exist, always knowing that those limitations, they only exist in your mind. All right, until next time, you guys stay blessed.